Prince George's County residents pay a substantial tax to park and planning. However, park and planning has had a surplus for the last 3 years. Is it appropriate for the agency to have the surplus, and should the county reevaluate tax allocation among such entities?
And the expansion of the homestead tax credit this year actually looked at that, evaluated that, and that is why there is some property tax relief this year. We expanded the homestead tax credit to Maryland National Capital Park and Planning and other bi-county agencies as exactly an acknowledgement of a reevaluation. If they are having a surplus, we ought to refund some of those dollars to the taxpayers who are paying in. I think it is an appropriate thing to evaluate, to look at our taxing structures, to make sure that they are fair and equitable and people are getting the services that they expect from the taxes that they pay. So I would say I acted on that by supporting the expansion of that homestead tax credit to the bi-county agencies, and I think it is something appropriate to look at. But I would also say that park and planning, I mean, we have one of the best park systems in the entire country, and we offer a lot of great services through our parks and recreations department, so it's an important and critical agency to support. But when they are running surplus, I think it is appropriate that we do what we did this year, which is to refund a portion to the taxpayers and not allocate them for non-park and recreation uses.
Thank you. Mr. Turner.
This is a good question because people have got to understand that the government may like to run like a business and should run like a business on certain aspects, but the government is not a business. It does not run for a profit. However, to have a surplus in our account and to furlough our Prince George's County residents, I have an issue with that. So the answer to that question is no, we should not operate with a surplus. However, we should put ourselves in a position where we can maintain a AAA bond rating, which we've been able to do here in the county, but to do it at the expense of laying off Prince George's County employees, I have an issue with that. And I think our county employees that were laid off have an issue that our county had a $60 million surplus, yet they got laid off. So Park and Planning has the opportunity to create a lot of money through the different venues that they have, but that money needs to be utilized here within the county for the services that we need, the parks that we need, the school systems that we need, and that carry a $60 million surplus is way too much money and is not the business of what the government is about. Thank you.
I think the Park and Planning, as well as any other agency associated with Prince George's County government, there's always warranted an assessment, an objective assessment about the funding that comes from those particular agencies and the surplus or deficit that they may carry. You know, the mission here is to ensure that we provide the services necessary to our citizens, period. So every agency, regardless of what the agency is, under my leadership, we will make an objective assessment and we will adjust accordingly, prioritizing the services needed here in Prince George's County. Thank you.
Mr. Baker.
Thank you. I think what we should do with Park and Planning is, first of all, I think the funds from Park and Planning should be used for park and planning, not used as a place where we go rob for the general fund. Because we can use the money from Park and Planning to help us spur economic development and commercial growth. If we expand our tax base, our commercial tax base, we'll have more resources to put into our schools, to put into healthcare. But we should use the Park and Planning money to do that. You can use Park and Plan money to do smart growth around our metro systems. You can use Park and Planning money to help build a performing arts center at Suitland, where our kids have one of the best performing arts programs there is in this state. But let's use it to spur commercial development. Let's use it for what it is. We have one of the best park systems there is. you know, it's the one thing that if people look around the state and this region, they look at Prince George's County, we're leading the way on that. So let's take that jewel, use it to help expand the businesses right here in Prince George's County, and that's what I would do as county executive. Thank you.
Hold your applause, please. And Mr. Dean, let me apologize if I misspoke on your last answer regarding trim. Now, I would like you to address the question regarding parking plan.
Thank you. I do agree that we have to get control over the surplus that parking planning may have. One of the things about parking planning is that parking planning is not covered by trim. And so therefore, they do not have a tax cap. And I did support the legislation that was passed by the state and to cap the homestead property tax for parking planning, which now will reduce and in time eliminate any surplus that they may have. They may have enough to run their program. We do have one of the great park systems here in the county, and parking planning does a lot of things, and one of the things that we really need to do is to take the money that we have for parking planning in order to make and conduct studies. Parking planning is divided into two agencies. One, they have a planning department and they have a parks department, and we have to make sure that the money that we have is used for planning so that we can begin to move Prince George's County to the next level. Thank you.